What's up, Taco Squad? Welcome back to Tatto and Tacos. Today we have a special guest, Laila Mendez, starred in the short film titled The Masked Man. And today I'll be asking you a few questions about it as we dig into some tacos.
Hey guys, what's up?
So, Laila, who are your co-stars and how do their characters contribute to the film?
So my two co-stars in this film is Alika Kuzankova and Joshua Kumar.
Mhm.
Alika was the hero in this situation as I was the victim. So she was there coming to save me, rescue me. And Joshua was the masked man. So he was the killer, the one that was out to get me, who had me, trapped, obviously. And without them, this short film wouldn't be possible.
Okay. Now, how does your short film compare to those with the same genre?
So, with our short film, obviously, we have certain aspects of this which make it an ominous tone, like the music would be cueing the audience to know that there's something bad about to happen. We made various jump cuts from certain scenes. For example, the scene of it cutting from me to Joshua to Alika in the car. That made the audience, feel more captured by what was happening and obviously more aware that something might be happening or coming up and something bad is about to happen.
Okay. Now, how do you think the audience reacted to this film?
I think the audience reacted in a way obvious like anybody would like sitting at the edge of their seat and waiting for the next thing to happen. And obviously they're probably tense and a little bit nervous of what's going to happen next.
Mhm.
I know personally from my friends and family after seeing the film, they told me they were worried about the use of the fake weapons and they were
Mhm.
obviously scared because some things were a little bit intense, like
Mhm.
how I was taped up and tied to the chair, and obviously like you don't really expect to see those things, especially from kids
Yeah.
especially. And also the duct tape on the mouth and the pillowcase on the head was really crazy, and the knife and the fake gun, all the above. I think that would make the audience a little bit nervous.
Yeah. Now, where would you like to see this distributed?
Of course, as somebody who was part of this, I would love to see it in theaters as a full film with fully finished story. Um, but obviously, it's just distributed on YouTube at the moment.
Awesome. Who would you say is the target audience for this film?
The target audience for this film would be like any horror or thriller lovers. Um, I would say there's another film or movie that is similar. It's like The Black Phone because
Mhm.
people are kidnapped, and I feel like people who like that movie would like our short film.
You think younger people would be more interested?
Well, this specific film probably would not be promoted to younger audiences
Okay.
because of its um intense with
Yeah.
weapons and the whole situation at hand. The demographic would probably people maybe more mature audiences. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how did you advertise and promote your short film?
The way we advertised it was through social media. So
Okay.
we used places like Instagram
Mhm.
to post our short film flyer and poster to try to gain more audience. And as a group, we decided to Joshua, Alika, and myself, we decided to, spread the word by mouth and,
Mhm.
talk to people and tell them a little bit about it. Maybe show them like our pictures of when it happened and, stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what would be the monetization process if you were being paid to release this?
For this film, I would say we would have it out in movie theaters or even on TV, and I feel like it
Mhm.
should be pay per view. So an example of that would be like if you were to go to a movie theater and buy a ticket for the movie, you only watch it once. Ticket only goes
Yeah.
for one time, as well as at home. But if it were in movie theaters, then it would be released at home after. But though it's only on YouTube,
Mhm.
so we make money or would make money off of how many views we would get on YouTube. So yeah,
Okay.
the views.
Now, how would you release your short film timing wise?
Timing wise, if we were to release this film and set up that advertisement in that way,
Mhm.
I would probably release it separately. So different clips, trying to separate them out and to different places, almost like a puzzle piece, and not fully give them the full. Obviously, no audience wants the full answer or the full.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. But almost like pieces and segments, so they can keep anticipating what's gonna come next, and be prepared and like almost watching and waiting to watch their phone and see what happens.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What was your initial level of production skills before you created this project?
My initial skills for this, I have another AICE class that I took the previous year, and me and my classmates did a music video about the ocean and the ocean zones. So for that video, we had to film, we had to do voiceovers, we had to input sound, and so I knew how to do the editing process previously, so that was very helpful, obviously. And for the filming wise, because I was taped to a chair and like we couldn't really move it, because if it were to move, like it wouldn't match up on camera each time. I had to teach my co-stars how to do this because we were the production and we were obviously the actors in it and everything. So, we contributed it to it, and there was no other extras on the scene or everything like that. So I had to kind of teach them and walk them through as I could or beforehand. So I would say being able to be so well versed before, it made it definitely a lot easier when I had to almost direct and help the group as a whole.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, did you face any challenges or any obstacles come your way?
I would say the only challenges we really faced, one would be the props. So having props makes things very difficult because you have to make sure that things align in each scene and things like that. So obviously when my chair was there, when I was sitting in the chair, we couldn't move my chair because it had to match up in every scene. And we had tarps in the garage because we did this in a very small space. So we had to figure out how to put these tarps up, and we had to figure out what sound. So we used some Foley sound with the knives that Josh had, and we had to figure out what sounded best, what looked best on screen. And all those things really, like, those were some challenges, were the sound and the picture and what it would look like, as well as how to frame us all in the camera at once. Like the one scene where Alika has come to my rescue, that was definitely a struggle because we had no other people to film us. So we had to figure out a way to hold the phone in the way that would catch all of us in the screen at once. So those would be the only challenges I feel like we faced as a group.
That's cool. Now, did you learn anything from this process? Did you have anything you want to go back and fix?
I would say things that I learned is like how to communicate with my group more. As time went on, we got more comfortable. We understood each other's ideas more. I think before the previous filming, it was the making the scenes on a piece of paper, drawing it out, and having those conversations beforehand. We were all definitely a little bit lost, a little confused. And I know that some of the pieces in all of our heads didn't really go together or match. But once we were all there, having those conversations beforehand really helped. And I think as a person and as somebody who likes to film these videos and enjoys it, I've got to learn how to communicate and how to keep these things continuing for the future.
Perfect. You did awesome.
Thanks.
So, Laila, thank you so much for joining our Tatto and Tacos.
Of course, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Of course. And thank you guys all for watching. You have anything else you have to say?
Make sure to go watch The Masked Man on YouTube if you haven't yet. And thank you so much for tuning in.
See you guys.